everyone, it's Amy from Lollipolish Baby 90 and welcome to today's video. Today I'm here with the part 4, I think, of my Zero Lacquer swatch through, swatching all my Zero Lacquer polishes in order of release. If you haven't seen my other videos in this series, I'll try to remember to link them down below for you, but you can jump in at any point. We are going through today all the releases to 2017, I think. That sounds about right. So we have some really great polishes to go through this month. If you haven't seen any of the other videos, I'll quickly summarise. I was lucky enough to be part of the swatch team for the entire time that Zero Lacquer was in operation. They're currently on hiatus. The brand was run by one of my best friends in the entire world, JessFace90. So I want to re-swatch them all, talk a little bit about the collection, about some behind the scenes information on a few things about what I remember when these collections were coming out. But without further ado, let's go into 2017 releases. I started off the year with a Valentine's Day trio, and I loved all 3 of these polishes, and these are probably some of my most worn 90s throughout my time because I always gravitate towards them. So we have a Night Out, which is this beautiful blue linear holographic with so much dense holographic pigment packed in there, and I also feel like it's got a little bit of like a pinky undertone to it. I absolutely love that, and it looks beautiful against its companion, A Night In. So there's like the pop it like Barbie and Ken going together, and A Night In is the same concept as A Night Out, but in this really nice raspberry rose pink. So those two are so stunning. And then for Jess's, particularly at the time, A Night with the Cats was the one that we needed to do, because sometimes you just stay at home with your fur babies and you love on your fur family instead of going in or out for Valentine's Day. And this is a really lovely white base Crelly with tons of sharded glitter in here in this pink and purple. Jess's Crellys are chef's kiss perfect, and I really loved that mixture, and all 3 of them together, I thought that was such a funky mixture. So that was our first little release of the year. There wasn't really an obvious spring collection or summer collection really. There was 2 that we're going to go through that are kind of interchangeable. There wasn't anything that was like spring pastels or anything, but the next little group that I have here are from PolishCon. So this is the year that there was a PolishCon in Brooklyn. Jess took part in that. So these are both the Road to PolishCon polish and also the 2 limited edition ones from PolishCon itself if you attended. Now I actually met Jess in person for the first time about 2 weeks after PolishCon, so that's why it feels like it was such a long time ago and also so recent at the same time. So I went to see Jess in May 2017. Austin was like, my son was like, what was that, like 17 months old, which is crazy now to think how much time has gone past. But I managed to get obviously all of these, I sort of just after the event itself. So I think, I can't remember which one was Road to PolishCon and which one wasn't, but between the 3 of them, we have VIP Not Me, which is beautiful. And again, one of the polishes that I've worn so much because I love this kind of pinky purple mauve, linear holographic, but it's got this really beautiful like metallic undertone to it. And I wish that Jess had done more in this finish because I love the metallic and hollow all together. So VIP Not Me was that one. And then Royal is a really nice royal purple with a gold shimmer, and I love how that mixture comes together. And the one that I'm wearing on my nails and one that's later in this video is kind of like the blue version. So this purple with gold I thought was really fun. So that was Royal. And I did have to thin this one out, so I just need to make sure I keep extra good careful of this because it's such a dense glitter. And this one was called Treasure Chest, and it's a clear base, but as you can see, it is so overwhelmingly dense, with majority of it is gold, but then there's also blue, light blue, dark blue, orange, green and red flakes. So it does look like you open a treasure chest and see all of the treasures in there. So love that one. I think this collection came out first out of the 2 ones. This is the famous Smoothie Bar Collection. Now I know a lot of people will have this because Jess was so good that she would remake and remake and remake for as many times as people would buy them. So often not a lot of these polishes were super limited edition, which I think is something that when I think on it, I don't think people maybe realise the fact to keep all of these polishes in production. Like Smoothie Bar was definitely in production for years, and every time it sold out she would restock, and I think that was something that I really loved about 90 from also an international standpoint, that although I did get these sent to me, if I was buying them there was no pressure to be there. And I know at one point in the indie world you had to be there the minute things released or they would completely sell out and you would never get them again. So I really loved how these collections were so easily available, and there was no stress if you missed out on the first restock. They would be restocked until everyone got them. There was also a follow-up collection to this called the Smoothie Bar Light that I believe comes out next year, so you'll see that in the next video. But these are all the same concept, as in we have cream base with then the black shredded glitters, and it's exactly the same but in 6 different colours, and they're all named after smoothies. So the first one we have is blueberry acai, or blueberry acai is what people always say, but I'm pretty sure blueberry acai is the posh way to say it. So which is this really nice cornflower bright blue. Again, all of these are kind of bleached neons. We then have watermelon juice, which is a really nice hot Barbie candy pink. Matcha in mint is again a very minty, could be like chocolate chip ice cream almost a little bit, matcha and mint. Pineapple punch, another one that is more on the neon end of the spectrum opposed to being a bleached neon, but really, really fun bright yellow. One of my favourites out of this one is actually blackberry banana. I love this tone of purple, which is probably quite a blue tone of purple. I'm a little bit picky with my purples, but I love this one. And the last one is mango sunrise. So there is then pomegranate, I want to say, in the next one, which is slightly darker coral, because this is almost like an orange peachy mango colour, obviously. Now, somewhere in that summer was the only ever 90 Lacquer offering for polish pickup. It's not the destination. Jess only did polish pickup one time, and this is the one polish from that release. And this, I think the month was something to do with games. I think this was inspired by the front of a game that she played. But so this is a nice jelly base, which is a really nice bright zesty orange with a ton of gold shimmer and also gold glitters in there. I'm pretty sure the front cover of whatever game it was like a desert or something, but it does build up to be completely opaque in 3 coats. This is only the 2nd time I've ever worn this one when I re-swatched it, but it's kind of fun to have, and I wonder how many else in the comments have the only 90 Lacquer for polish pickup, because it's a rare one. Then later in the summer there was the Extreme Weathers collection, which is another 6-piece series, and these are slightly darker in tone, but again same concept but just in 6 different colours. So they are jelly bases, and then there is super fine micro flakes. So this is like the beginning of the micro flake for me around this sort of 2017 period, and there is 6 here. So we'll run through these colours again. So Solar Flare was the orange, again a little bit of carroty orange, a little bit darker. These are more of a late summer release. They're not as bright and in your face as some of the others, but Solar Flare was the orange. The green was called Windstorm. I think this one is my favourite. I love again that it's a blue toned green. Me and blues have an affinity together. Windstorm. Blue itself is Monsoon, which is a really nice watery blue. The yellow is Lightning. This one was really well done, because considering that yellows are so hard to do, especially like jelly, more sheer yellows, very hard, I was impressed with Lightning. And the cherry red was called Heatwave, quite like a pink toned red. And the purple finishing us up was called Hailstone. So that was the Extreme Weather collection, 6-piece. Then we move around to autumn, and the autumn collection was called Enemies of Hyrule, which was inspired by one of the many Zelda games, which is one of Jess's favourite collections. This, without being a bummer, is one of my least memorable collections from 90 Lacquer. There's none of them in here. They're all beautiful, but also they're not my favourites. I mean, we've all got to have favourites in this series. We've all got to have least favourites. And although I love them all, these ones are maybe only I like rather than I love. And these ones are the ones, like I say, that I tend to forget about, and I don't wear them as much. But they've got all really nice different finishes, which is lovely, considering the earlier collections in the year were very same formula in different colours. This is a nice variety. So the one that I was talking about earlier is Armos. So that is the one that I have on my nails now. And this is a really nice dark blue with the gold shimmer in it, same as Royal, but the blue version. And this is possibly my favourite in that collection. I've had this on for a few days actually. I meant to swatch it and I thought, oh well, I'll just paint the other hand, and oh, now it's 3 days later. So that was Armos. Wallmaster is this really brown, purple, red hybrid in a linear holographic. Then P Hat is a really fun Crelly, where it is yellow with blue and red glitters. However, you have to shake this up a lot, and this is one of the ones where the glitters just all sink to the bottom, and I don't know why it happened, because it happened almost instantly from it. But as you can see in the swatch photo, I just need to tip it upside down and then they all shake nicely, but they do sink quite easily in this one. So that was P Hat. Suffering from ugly bottle syndrome, we have Puppet, and this is a really nice green linear holographic, a little bit of a shimmery flake to it as well, but don't be put off by the ugly bottle syndrome. The colour is just pure green, beautiful. We have Octorok, which is this really nice dark purple, which is really chunky. It's got glitters in here, not flakes, and the glitters are gold. So I really love that purple and gold together, very royal, dare we say that we've already mentioned that one. and something a little bit more autumnal and plummy. So that was the Enemies of Hyrule. There was one new release for Halloween this year, and this one was Ghost, another one of my favourites of all time. It is one of the closest to a white holographic that you will ever see. A little bit of behind the scenes knowledge that Spectra Flare, which is used to make holographic polishes, is a silver component. So when you put that into white, it does tend to make things more grey. So you have the balance of, do you put too much holographic in there and then it being more of a grey, or do you leave it being a less holographic but it being white? So this is one of the whitest linear holographics that there is. It is very slightly grey toned because of the obvious reasons, but I think that there was one other brand around the same time that came out with a white one. It was called Unicorn something, I think. I want to say it might be, I don't even want to guess. Someone in the comments might be able to know, but I love this one, and it's a really, really great almost white linear holographic Ghost. And we finish up the year with a nice chock-a-block collection for the holidays, and this polish collection is so unusual. These are not your stereotypical Christmas colours, which I love, and I also have a prototype one of these as well. So we'll do some of the glitters first. So we have Shooting Star, which was a nice black crelly with gold flakes and glitters, a Christmas crelly because it wouldn't be Christmas or a 9-0 collection without having a crelly. This is a really nice white base crelly with gold, red and green metallic little glitters. Party Dress is a really fun like platinum base, like so many itty bitty tiny little flakes which are in this kind of platinum colour, and then there is also black and orange, really, really funky and fun and super different. Bubbly is a really nice dense champagne polish where it is a little bit of a tinted base, and then there's tons of little tiny champagne glitters in there. That takes about 3 coats to build up, a little bit more sheer. Fireside is a really nice bright orange. If we compare this to It's Not the Destination, you can see they're slightly different in tone. There is no glitter in this one, it is all flakes, but it's so glowy, so shimmery, and so much like a nice bright fire. So Fireside was there. Then we have Clear Cold Night, which was the actual polish that was released, which is a really nice blue jelly, and then there is stars, squares, and regular hex glitters in silver, but there was one batch that Jess made that went more of a teal colour. So this is also an unnamed prototype for this polish, and this was actually given out to people in the 9-0 Lacquer fan group, or you could buy it through the fan group, but it was very limited edition. These stars are actually more of a gold as well, where the base is an incorrect colour. So I'm very honoured to have the little mystery prototype that never made it quite through, just because it wasn't quite the right colour. So that's Clear Cold Night, correct, and blooper. So that is everything that was released in 2017 when it comes to nail polish from 9-0 Lacquer. Let me know some of your favourites from this year, and I will start to put out 2018s, and we'll be back in a few months' time to go through all of those. I've really loved doing this series. I'm really loving swatching everything, re-swatching everything. It makes me very happy. So like I say, thumbs up, subscribe, comment, all of that, and I will see you soon. Bye.